The peace of a bright, sunny Texas morning shattered by unexpected visitors. When authorities say two men forced their way into a Houston area home with guns, one posing as a food delivery worker. Ben Bates owns the home but was away. It was his daughter who answered the door to tell them they had the wrong house.
I think you have the wrong house.
He came with a DoorDash bag and knocked on the door. And that's when my daughter answered, and then as soon as she opened, he forced his way in.
Bates says the suspects zip-tied his daughter's wrists. Her 1- and 3-year-old sons were also there.
Your daughter and your grandkids, how are they doing right now? Have you talked to your daughter?
I have.
What did she say?
She's terrorized, but she's okay.
A quick-thinking neighbor realized what was happening and called 911.
I got a message from my neighbor who said, you need to get home because the police are there and there's gunshots.
Bates quickly pulling up the video from his Ring doorbell camera to see what had happened.
I can see the guys when they entered, and I hear my daughter scream in terror, and it's kind of the worst thing a father can ever experience. And they were threatening her, threatening to kill her. It was just the worst thing.
Police arrived in a matter of minutes, finding the armed men inside.
The suspect came out of what we think is a bedroom and shot immediately at the officer. The officer returned fire, did not strike the suspect, but that was the suspect that ran out the back.
That officer, Scott Durfee, was shot in the leg while his partner found the second suspect in another room and arrested him. In the midst of the chaos, Bates says his daughter managed to break free of her restraints and grab her children.
We don't know how, maybe it was adrenaline or the grace of God or whatever, but as soon as the police came in, she just pulled her arms apart and the zip ties were free and ducked behind some couches before the gunfire started.
The suspect, who ran off after firing shots, was taken into custody nearby in another neighbor's yard.
To look out your kitchen window and see 3 police officers with guns drawn, telling him not to move, it scared the hell out of me.
Police later announcing the arrest of a third man believed to be a getaway driver of this white Toyota Camry, seen leaving the scene on this neighbor's doorbell camera. All 3 men charged with aggravated robbery. The officer who was shot later released from the hospital the same day. Bates's daughter and grandchildren left physically unharmed, which he credits to that neighbor and Houston police officers who didn't hesitate to enter a dangerous situation.
Our neighbor and those 2 officers that came in are true heroes. They protected our family.
And Valerie Castro joins us now in studio. What else do we know about those suspects now in custody?
So all 3 are set to make their first court appearance tomorrow, and the district attorney says 2 of the 3 were actually out on bond for charges related to another criminal case. As for that DoorDash ruse, we reached out to the company, and they say that one of the 3 men used to work for them as a delivery driver, but he hasn't made a delivery or worked for DoorDash since 2023.
Listening to the father there, you just feel for him and the whole family. This is everybody's worst nightmare. What else did he have to say?
He says the lesson learned in all of this, he says the family had gotten complacent about opening their door. And he says even though they had that Ring doorbell camera, they never used the feature where you can look to see who's at your door or talk to the person at your door without actually opening the door. He says they will now be using that feature in the future.
Valerie Castro, thank you. When we come back, a dangerous scene at a California marina.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.